my foundation and concealer and everything like that. So what we're going to start with firstly is I'm going to take a creamy black pencil liner. It can be any brand, it just has to be really nice and creamy. And what we're going to do is actually smudge this black liner into the roots of your lashes. Now it does not have to be perfect. You want to just make sure that it's nice and rich and black. And you want to make sure that there's no skin showing in between the roots of your lashes. So what I'm also going to do is tight line, which is sort of lift up my lid and around the pencil on the underwater line of the top lid. Now is take a brush that's nice and flat, any sort of smudge brush or detail brush, and I'm going to smudge that liner into the roots of the lashes. Now as soon as I'm done with that, now I'm using the L'Oreal Hip Gel Liner, the cream liner, and this is in Midnight Blue. You can use Black Bean if you have that, or you can continue using your eye pencil. It doesn't really matter. You can use a blue eye pencil. Just make sure that whatever you use is creamy. And if you are going to use a gel liner, you want to be sure you work pretty quickly because it usually sets quite fast. So I'm taking a synthetic flat brush that looks like this, and I'm going to pick up a little bit of that gel liner, and it's just a rich, deep navy blue liner. And I'm going all the way over everything that I just put there, that's including the black. Now you want to keep this shape to the eye. It's almost like a rounded type shape. Usually when we do eye makeup, we do that sort of a pulled out shape towards the end. We're not doing that today. And you want to keep this right up underneath the crease. And to avoid any harsh lines, I'm just blending out the edge a little bit, and you could even use your finger just to soften up that edge again. So once that's done, before it completely dries, I am going to be using colors mainly from this is the 28 color palette, Smoky Eye edition, and it looks like this. And I got this in the store in Trincity Mall, but you can get these online as well too. If you don't have those, I will give you color references so you can use what you have. So the first color I'm going to pick up is actually black, a matte black, using that same smudge brush that we used earlier. And I'm picking up any matte black will do, and I'm going to jam that into the edge along where my eyeliner would usually go, or where we place that black eyeliner. And that is again to set the eyeliner that we put there, and to really make the roots of those lashes really black. So the next color we're going to pick up, and I'm using just a regular shader brush. I'm going to be picking up a really pretty dark navy blue. Now this color can be matte, it can be shimmer, as long as it's around this color. As long as it's around that color, which is a matte navy blue, and I'm going to pop this over all of where I placed that deep blue gel liner as a base. And again, I'm keeping all of this underneath the crease line. Now just as a little bit of an extra pop, because I want this to be sort of glam and smoky and funky, this is my Kat Von D palette, and it's in Metal Orchestra. There is a very pretty sparkly navy blue right here. It has little tiny flecks of sparkles. Again, if you don't own anything like this, you can use navy glitter, or you could even use my glitter liner trick, where you put a little bit of glitter liner over it, and it kind of gives it that same sort of a sparkly effect. I'm just going to layer this over that blue to give it a little bit of an extra shimmer. You don't have to do that, it's completely optional. Now I'm going to pick up a fluffy blending brush that looks like this, and pick up a little bit of that same smoky blue, and just use it to blend out very lightly the edge of the blue that we placed in the crease. Now what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to pick up with purple And the purple that I'm using is going to be along this shade. So again, anything that looks like that, there is a very vivid purple in this palette. And this is the one that I'm using. It looks like this. And I'm using that same blending brush and tapping very, very lightly into that color. I am going to blend out the edge of that navy blue. Very, very lightly. Now what we're doing here is we are creating a smoky eye, but we're doing it in a gradient way. It gives that sort of a hazy look to it, which really adds to that dramatic smokiness. Now notice that I'm keeping that sort of a rounded shape throughout the entire process of the eyeshadow. You don't really want to move away from that. We don't want to create like a cat's eye or anything. The only thing that I would tell you to do is to avoid bringing the darker color towards the inner part of the nose bridge. It tends to make the eyes look smaller, and it will make your eyes look darker and emphasize any darkness or dark under eye circles that you may have. So again, just lightly blending out using that purple color. Now in this palette, there is sort of a Barbie pink right to the top here. Right to the top here. Make sure I'm pointing to right over here. Right to the top here, there's a Barbie pink. And I'm going to pick up a tiny bit of that and use it to blend out the edge of that purple that I just put there. So again, we're building color and gradient, and this is what gives you that overall smoky sort of look. I'm going to use, to finish this off, and it's quite a simple look, to be honest with you. It's not a lot of bells and whistles. It is quite foolproof to do, simply because it's not a lot of color or different techniques or cutting the crease or anything that requires a lot of skill. It's just layering color upon color. And I'm going to pick up a neutral highlight color. This is like a vanilla-ish color that I'm using here. I'm going right up underneath the brow bone with that. And I'm also going to use whatever's left on the brush to sort of blend out the inner corner and give a little bit of a finishing edge to those colors there. Now the last thing you want to do is pick up just a little bit of that same vanilla highlight that you used on the top there, and make sure that you really get the inner corner, because this is such a dark dramatic look. You really need that extra little pop of lightness to bring in a little bit of light into the eye so that the eye doesn't look completely closed down. Once all of that is done, I'm going to take a flat smudge brush. You can use the exact same one that we used before, and I'm going to spray just a little. And I'm going to pick back up that navy shadow that we used and run this right along the lower lash line from the inner to the outer corner of the eye. Okay. So the last thing we're actually going to do to finish off the eye, I'm going to use the same black liner that I used initially and line the waterline all the way in very heavily. And then I'm going to add false eyelashes. This is completely optional. If you choose to, you can just simply add mascara. I'm going in with my e.l.f. cream blush, and this is in Heartbreaker. Anything that's a nice soft pink, because the eyes are so bold, we want to keep the rest of the face very much neutral as much as we can. So right along the apples of my cheeks, just a very soft pink blush. I'm using an NYX lip liner. And this isn't natural. It's basically something that's very neutral and nude. You can use your concealer or a little bit of your foundation just to neutralize your lips. I'm going in with my MAC lipstick, and this is in faux. I'm going to show you real quickly what it looks like. It's a very nice soft pink. If you don't have this, use whatever you have. Something that's a little bit pink, but again on the neutral nude side. And I'm only going to pat this onto the lips so that I don't get a lot of color, but it still deposits enough there that I don't look completely dead. And then over that, I'm going in, this is my buxom lip gloss, and this is in brioche, but it's basically a neutral color with a little bit of sparkle. It's more clear than anything else. And that's it for the look. So thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thank you for watching.